And there are lots of different ways that you can do the mask, but one of the ways I'm going to use them today is I'm just going to, I made a mixture of water, and I used gray and a little bit of brown in here. And I probably had about just a little bit of water in there to begin with, and just added till I got about the color I wanted this to be. Now we're going to be spraying this on, and as you know, spraying is really, really drippy and messy. So I'm going to put this down behind it to protect the pages behind it. All right, and we're just going to lightly spray it to kind of show off this mask. Now when I lift this, you'll see where the masks are, if you don't already see it. You know what? I think before I do that, I'm going to let this dry. Then I'll be right back. Let me let it dry, and then I'll be right back. Since I'm trying to keep this last video to 10 minutes, I've gone ahead and peeled off my mask. I keep calling them photo masks, didn't mean to do that. But the masks that I had, I pulled them off, and you can see them underneath. Let me raise this up slightly for you so you can get a better look at that. Then I cut out the transparencies. Now, the side that's printed on, when you print these, you want to make sure if it's got writing on it like this clock does, that you want to print it in mirror image, because when you put these down, you want to turn them over so that the printed part is down and won't rub off. Now, a couple of things I noticed that you need to be aware of. When you print, it is best that you let this dry for 24 hours. So you need to think ahead. If you don't want to wait the 24 hours and work with it, be careful. You may want to spray it with your fixative, your Krylon fixative. But you don't have to wait. But this one that I waited, and it dried for 24 hours before I even added the photo to it. I had no problems with it. This one is even still a little damp and a little wet on the back of it. But I sprayed it, and it did pretty good. But when I was adding the adhesive, I did notice that sometimes it moved or was lifted off just slightly onto my paper, just slightly, or onto this paper is what I'm talking about. So I used, I would just cut out the element that I wanted, and I would cut it out, and so I've got one already cut out here. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but I cut out just around it, just randomly around it is what I cut out. Then I turned it to the side that was printed, and I used this, these Easy Dots. It's a scrapbook adhesives, Easy Dots, and those seem to work the best, and the dots just kind of blended into the background. I don't even see those dots. So you got to be careful what you use. And then I went on the back of it, and then just put those dots on the back, especially around the edges. Now, if it was dry like on this one, I went right over the inked part, and it didn't even stick. It didn't even stick to the ink. It just went down beautifully once it had dried. So I went around the edge and just added those dots. Now, careful when you lift these up. You lift by the edges. Okay? Then you can just position them however you want them to be. And they just kind of blend right into the background beautifully. And you don't even see the edges hardly at all. If you tilted it and looked up sideways, you could see where your cutting lines and everything were. I am totally pleased with this page. This page went together so quickly from beginning to end. was you could probably do this page in less than an hour. But I really like it. I just think it turned out so great. I'm going to have to do some journaling on this page too and talk a little bit about the family photo. But this is a great heritage page. Easy to do. I'll have all the links to the products on the blog. But thank you for joining us throughout this month. It's been my pleasure to have these video workshops for you. I hope you'll give these techniques a try, especially the printing on transparency and printing on cloth. They just give you so many options and so many fun things to do. So thank you for joining me, and I hope I'll be able to do these video workshops in the very near future.